4 hours ago, Kai and Tan Songyun's secret project finally revealed. Fans in shock. A soft hush fell over the internet 4 hours ago, a sudden tremor in the usually clamorous sphere of fandom. Screens flickered, feeds froze, hearts skipped. Kai, the actor whose gaze can stop time, and Tan Songyun, whose smile can light up the dark, have finally unveiled their secret project. What follows is pure astonishment. Scene 1. The revelation. It was midnight in Beijing, though for fans it might as well have been sunrise. An unassuming post appeared on K-Romance Central, revealed Kai and Tan Songyun's secret project, details inside. No pomp, no flashy teaser, just words. But the words were enough. Within moments, insiders began leaking stills, silhouettes gazing at skyline lights, fingers brushing over antique manuscripts in a candlelit room, whispered conversations in halls plastered with red lanterns. One still showed Kai standing under cherry blossoms, head bowed, lips parted as if in confession. Another captured Tan Songyun in profile, moonlight caressing her face, her expression torn between fear and hope. Fans everywhere slumped in seats, eyes wide. Disbelief froze many. Joy overwhelmed others. Scene 2. The twist. Rumors had swirled for weeks. There were whispers, on-set sightings, fleeting social media hints, mutual friends caught saying something more than just colleagues. But every time, the story evaporated. Tonight promised more than rumor. It promised truth. According to leaked production notes, the mystery project is no ordinary drama. It is said to be a cinematic love story set in a dystopian future where technology weaves into human lives at an intimate level. Kai will play a brilliant but emotionally scarred architect of synthetic worlds. Tan Songyun will embody a resistance leader who fights for memory, authenticity, what it means to feel alive. The first teaser dialogue leaked. "Do you remember the sky before the machines?" Spoken by Tan Songyun in trembling resolve. "I build the sky because I cannot live without it," responded Kai. Such lines, fans felt, could reshape how we imagine love. Scene 3. Emotional crescendo. In one of the leaked program treatments, there is a moment on a high balcony at dawn. Kai's character has created an artificial sunrise, paint, machinery, bulbs, but the light lacks warmth. The gold is cold. Tan Songyun's character stands beside him, silently weeping. She removes a small box from her coat, opens it. Seeds. Real, fragile life. She offers one to Kai, whose eyes betray longing. He takes it, fingers gentle, as if he dares not harm it. She says nothing, but her gesture cracks the machine's perfection. Fans reading that scene were flattened. The imagery, the symbolism, the tension between what is synthetic and what is alive, it seemed poetic enough to leave people breathless. Scene 4. Fan reactions. Across Weibo and Instagram stories, users posted screenshots. Kai in bomber jackets, splayed on old wooden floors, Tan Songyun in flowing robes dancing in rain, her hair plastered, yet regal. Fans began drawing comparisons. Could this be a sci-fi romance? A post-apocalyptic saga? Or perhaps magical realism where love restores a world lost to cold data? Some began shipping theories. Maybe their characters are former lovers separated by time, reunited through clandestine messages in code embedded in digital mirrors. Maybe this secret project will blur lines between film and virtual reality, offering immersive experiences to viewers. Others feared heartbreak. Dramatic stories so often end in ruin. But hope overwhelmed cynicism. Hearts clung to the possibility of a love that conquers machinery, loneliness, time. Scene 5. The backstage whispers. Behind the scenes, people said the filming has been underway for months, always at dawn or dusk, always in remote locations, abandoned factories overrun with vines, underground libraries lit only by lamps, rooftops where stars are almost within reach. Crew members disguised, schedules changed last minute, scripts kept in locked boxes. The secret has been fiercely guarded. There are reports Soo Kai refused promotional appearances until this reveal, that Tan Songyun asked the director to shoot her crying scenes before sunrise so that the light could catch the tears unfiltered. Scene 6. The implications. If true, this project could mark a turning point for both stars. Soo Kai, long admired for his handsome face and intense roles, stepping into something deeply allegorical and emotionally layered. Tan Songyun, celebrated for her naturalness and her ability to ground characters in realism, perhaps pushing herself into new expressive territory. For fans, it means more than a new drama. It could mean a myth made real. A narrative that doesn't just entertain, but resonates with longing and what it means to be human when everything around you seems artificial. Through this project, love is not just romantic, it is defiant. Through this project, memory matters. Through this project, seeds are more precious than steel. Scene 7. The aftershock. 4 hours in, and still the world is spinning. Social media trends erupt. Hashtag Skybuilders, hashtag Memory Seeds, hashtag Soo Kai Tan Songyun Secret. Edits appear of imagined promotional posters, Soo Kai silhouetted against golden machinery, Tan Songyun rising from water, symbolic vines wrapping around steel. Fanfiction springs to life overnight. Alternate endings, what-ifs, love letters from characters who have not yet spoken the words. Speculation is everywhere. Release date? Unknown. Platform? Rumored to be an international streaming behemoth. Budget? Whispered to rival blockbusters. Director? Unclear, though many assume someone bold, someone willing to blend genre and spectacle. Scene 8. What we hope for. Visual artistry that transcends mere prettiness. Sun-bleached deserts, neon networks, gardens in glass domes, broken clocks ticking again. Emotional honesty. Not just love that conquers, but love that questions, that bleeds into identity, that presses against the edges of self. Chemistry. The delightful tension between Soo Kai's restrained strength and Tan Songyun's luminous vulnerability. Innovation. Cinematography that surprises, storytelling that bends expectations, characters whose lives feel vivid long after the credits roll. 6 hours after reveal likely, fans will scan every new trailer, photo, interview, hoping for confirmations. Will there be soundtrack leaks? Behind-the-scenes clips? Lighting tests? Costume designs? Every small artifact will be treasure. Conclusion. Whether the project lives up to the fevered dreams of fans or not, it has already cast a spell. Just the promise of something secret between Soo Kai and Tan Songyun has stirred hope and imagination. Whatever tomorrow brings, if the project fulfills its wildest potential, fans will remember this moment. When the sky trembled, when seeds of story were planted, when art and longing brushed suddenly closer. Dawn on the promontory. The sky blushes before the sun fully wakes, its first light stretching across the jagged cliffs. The ocean pummels against stone, the sound of pulse in the dawn air. Soo Kai's stands are drenched in salt spray, his cloak whipping as gusts roar past his ears. He lifts a hand, shielding his eyes, the horizon trembling with possibility. Each ripple on the water seems to whisper of what was hidden beneath the tides. Tiny gulls will overhead, their cries distant, and sharp light fractures upon the waves, casting diamond shards that dance at his feet. It is here that he senses something beyond the sea, a tremor of fate, a ripple in the expanse. He closes his eyes momentarily, breath hitching, and the wind carries a distant melody, something ancient, something sorrowful. His heart responds. Glade of emerald shafts. Meanwhile, Tan Songyun ventures through forest cathedral. The canopy, far above, splits sunlight into shafts of emerald rays. Dust motes floating, suspended beads of moisture hang from spider webs, threads shimmering like fine silver. She moves barefoot upon moss, pillow green, soft with age. An owl's call echoes from somewhere deeper, rustling leaves. She steps closer to a clearing where wildflowers arch toward thin shafts of light. The petals seem to glow, pale blues, purples, pinks, each flower a secret memory she cannot name but feels in her bones. She pauses beside a pool, mirror still reflects sky, oaks petals, sky itself. She dips her fingers into cool water, fingers ripple, water splits reflection into fragments of self. She sees her image change, not fully human but otherworldly, skin lit by moonlight, eyes shining with power. The rift unfolding. Night comes fast, the twilight sky split between violet and indigo, a seam across the heavens. In that seam pulses the rift, a wound in reality crackling with electric hues of cerulean flame and molten gold. Kai in silhouette steps forward on a ridge, the edge crumbling beneath him. He reaches with both hands, as though to grasp the crack. Its light floods his face, warm and sharp contrasts of shade and glow etch lines on his skin. Tan Songyun stands far off across some chasm, forests extinct beneath shadow. Her dress billows in wind that stirs, petals flung across ground between them. The rift yawns like a promise. The first touch. In that moment time dilates, everything slows, their steps toward each other, tentative yet faded. Kai crosses a narrow bridge of light arches carved from unknown energies. The bridge hums underfoot like strings of harp vibrating. Tan Songyun mirrors him, pulling aside, vines glowing faintly luminous. She follows arches of blossoms that curve overhead, petals shimmering with dew. They meet at the center where light meets shadow. Kai's hand reaches for Tan Songyun's. She feels pulse of warmth searing through skin. She hears a hum in chest, echoes in sky. The first touch is a punctuation, a spark visible in air. Their fingertips graze, and for a fragment all worlds hush. The rift pulses, so light spills as though sunset and storm collided. Flash of memories. Their eyes lock and history unfolds. Membranes of past lives peel back. Kai is a boy chasing dying stars on cold plateau. Tan Songyun, a girl gathering whispers in moonlit courtyard. Both made promises, neither remembered. Kai's laughter echoes in windy high places. Children chasing fallen, leaves the smell of earth after rain, the taste of longing unfulfilled. Tan Songyun's lullabies sung beside wounded birds, soft voices in empty hallways, petals tumbling through fingers, memory of love unspoken carried in wind. Now those broken shards align. Visual poetry in motion. Camera swoops low over the ridge, dust swirling, then lifts high to stars, poisoning sky in shock. Elliptical orbs of light drift around them, fireflies or spirits or light made flesh. Tan Songyun's dress flutters like petals caught in gale. Kai's dark jacket flaps, catching light. Lightning thin threads of gold trace across Tan Songyun's arm like tattoos made of dawn. Kai's boots leave tracks in frosty earth that smolder and vanish. Above them, sky fractures, a meteor rains so many glowing arcs across night sky. They look up together, shadows dancing across faces, the sky wounded with beauty. Emotional undercurrents. Everything visible is matched by what cannot be seen, the ache of separation, the hope of union, the fear that crossing the rift demands letting go of something essential. Kai's lips tremble, he wants to speak, but voice is lost to wind. Tan Songyun's eyes glisten, she steadies breath because words feel too heavy. In silence they share sorrow and hope, pain of waiting years, of hidden yearning. The audience's reaction. At home at screens, people stare eyes wide. Social media stories whip with GIFs and clips. A fan in Tokyo rewinds the moment of touch over and again, trying to catch every nuance. Another in Cairo draws fan art where petals swirl around the two lovers meeting on the bridge. Many post whispers, they say this scene breaks the heart and builds hope. They say they have never felt so seen. What this part 1 sets up. It is not just introduction, it is proclamation, a foundation, a dream sketched in light and shadow. We now understand who these two are, not just characters, but embodiments of realms in turmoil, guardians of rifts, bearers of memory. We know there will be trials, the crack between them not simply physical, but emotional, the crossing not simple, but costly. And that moment when they first touch the rift changes everything. Part 1 of this secret project, according to K-Romance Central, has done more than reveal characters. It has cracked open possibilities, delivered visuals that confound expectations, and presented scenes so rich with meaning that fans are left gasping for what comes next. For now, the sky holds its wound, the forest its moonlit promise, the bridge waits suspended between light and shadow, and Kai and Tan Songyun stand as living threshold between what is and what must become. Readying for what Part 2 will demand, the price of crossing the rift, the shape of sacrifice, the echo of love beyond realms. Fans linger on that first touch, that ripple in sky, that moment when dawn and dusk collided. For in that frozen moment, everything changed, and we are all holding our breath, waiting for the worlds to unfurl further.